Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. I'm your host, Sunny Vanderstar. Today's topic is conserving the hidden jaguars of the Amolar Mountains. And our presenters today are Elder Brandau and Diego Viana. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. We're really excited to hear your presentation. I'm going to go ahead and turn it right over to you.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you all for being here again. Bringing some researchers from Brazil, right? Bringing some researchers working with conservation. So today's webinar is quite special for me. You can see in the picture there, a beautiful mountain range, right? A really, really remote, wild area, and a destination of rare beauty. The only in the Pantanal with the breathtaking mountains. So maybe the wildest location in the vast Pantanal. And in those hidden mountains, me and my wife, we were hired by this incredible NGO we're going to talk about in a few moments. And we spent a year as consultants helping to establish a lodge and wildlife journeys. So that's when this NGO wanted to study jaguars. And we suggested today's panelists to start this amazing research program. So his name is Diego Viana. He's a vet, has been studying for years wildcats, such as ocelots and jaguars. So please, Diego, introduce yourself and tell us about the hidden jaguars of Amolar mountain range.
Hello, everyone. First, thanks for Natural Habitats and you, Elder, to invite me and to do this opportunity to me to speak about our job, our conservation efforts in Serra do Amolar. So I am a vet, how Elder said. I was born in Corumbá. Corumbá is a most bigger city in Pantanal. So I am Pantaneiro. And now I work in Instituto Meu Pantaneiro since 2015.
So cool. So if you want to pass to the other.
Okay. So how I said in the introduction, I work and coordinate in the Felinos Pantaneiros Conservation Program at the Instituto Homem Pantaneiro since 2015. And works in Amolar have a lot of difficulties and pleasures too. The Amolar region really breathtaking, and you need lives this experience to understand what I said. But in addition of the to being beautiful, the region is one of the wildest and most distant local within Pantanal. We were only able to reach the Amolar by sailing for 5 hours in a fast boat or plane, 15 minutes with plane. The closest city is Corumbá, where I live now, and we needed to navigate more than 220 kilometers by boat to get there. In addition to distance, work in the mountains demands a physical preparation to walk through the mountains, with withstanding the heat and the mosquitoes at certain times of this year. So it's the Amolar and the beautiful images to that local. We can see the Amolar with different locals. We can see the mountains with the river. We can see the mountains above the mountains, and we can admire the Pantanal with different point of view. The sunset is a show, really show. You can see in the photos, and the Serra do Amolar. It was in the Serra do Amolar where the scientific efforts for the conservation of jaguar is spread all over the world. The renowned biologist George Schaller began his research with jaguars in the late 70s. And in the beginning, and even after the beginning the work, he receives the internship by the biologist Peter Crouch, who, along with Schaller, are one of the most important names for the conservation of jaguars through the world. Today, one of the bases of the Felinos Pantaneiros program is the same Curizal, where the pair began their work with jaguars.
Yeah, those two great researchers began to study there. And Diego, I have to say that the institute that you were working at is one of the organizations that I most admire for its conservation efforts. I mean, it coordinates a partnership among landowners, protecting an amazing corridor of wild areas that up to in that video there, yeah, image, you can see almost like a 300,000 hectares. This would be 700,000 acres. So it's including private areas and national park, right? The Pantanal National Park. So please tell us about this net of protected areas.
Okay, Elder. So, the Instituto Homem Pantaneiro is a civil society organization and is founded in 2002, and the Instituto works to conserve and preserve the Pantanal biome and the local culture. The Instituto manages the Serra do Amolar Protection and Conservation Network, a non-formal mosaic of private reserves around the national park, how you can see in this photo. We have 13 properties, and one of these is a national park. Uh, as one of uh, as one of our mission is to preserve the local culture. So the Instituto Homem Pantaneiro has a pantaneiros working in different sectors of the institution. In logistics sector, the researcher, we have a lot of pantaneiros in our team like me. And before I was veterinarian and researcher, I was pantaneiro. And the Instituto saw me as an example for the pantaneiros. Because after I have had contact with science, I awakened to the importance of taking care the place where I live, taking care for jaguars, and it can happen with the other pantaneiros too. So it's a pleasure to me work in Instituto Homem Pantaneiro and work in my house.
So cool. And when did it started, your work with jaguars in Amolar mountain range?
So in 2015, I was invited to IAGP, Instituto Homem Pantaneiro, to coordinate the initiative for conservation of jaguars in Serra do Amolar and also in cattle farm in the Miranda region, other region in Pantanal. And from 2016 and 2012, we monitored jaguars in Serra do Amolar with camera traps, trap cameras, and we identified 74 jaguars, different jaguars in Serra do Amolar. We can identify that 74 jaguars observing the spot patterns on the animal's body because each jaguar has a unique pattern, and we also analyzed puma in the region too. So we work and analyze the data from jaguars and pumas with data from camera traps.
Cool. So show us a little bit of those images.
It's this image is from the first my first camp, my first job on Serra do Amolar, and here we can see a part of our team, the juvenile jaguars, who help us with our camera traps.
Mhm.
And we identify 74 jaguars. Here you can see that different jaguars we have, since 2016. We identify every year curbs too. Uh, and when we think about the proportion male and female, we have three females for one male. We have more females than males in the Serra do Amolar. We monitored them, so to the pumas, what you can see in the image. The pumas we cannot identify by the spots because they don't have spots, but we monitored the patterns actives from these species too. And curves we every since 2006 we monitored the curves, and after the virus we saw we too identify the curves.
So nice. And it's about your conservation study. I mean, even poaching, jaguar poaching. You have been working on anti-poaching strategy as well, right? So tell us about your challenges, what was done, and the results until now.
Yes, Elder, we we don't create strategies. We implement science evaluated strategies in other areas of the world and apply that strategies in Pantanal. We use and monitoring strategies such as electric fence and light repellents to protect the areas most affected by depredation, and we will also implement and evaluate these strategies. And we have important results so far. When we think about the challenges are great because there are historical conflicts between livestock production and jaguars and pumas in Pantanal. But more and more, we see people and farmers and ranchers seeking these sustainable solutions.
Mhm.
Uh, so, when here in this graphic, we can see one of analyzed patterns of movement patterns of jaguars and puma in a molar in Serra do Molar. These datas, this graphic generated from the information from the trap cameras, the camera traps, we were able to access to active patterns of jaguars in the Serra do Molar, and we can observe the jaguars represented by the red line and the pumas represented by the blue line. They cohabit in the Serra do Molar because have abundance of prey, abundance of habitats, abundance of water, so they can cohabit in the Serra do Amolar. Uh, we carry out the same assessment on the livestock farms where we work, and thus
Okay.
help ranchers manage their livestock.
Nice. And I know it is not just about jaguars, right? You have been monitoring many other endangered species, right?
Yes, in addition to monitoring the jaguars and pumas in Serra do Molar, we monitor endangered species that use Serra do Molar as a refuge. And with the support of the program called Conexão Jaguar from NISA CETEP and Pantera Colombia, we annually carry out monitoring of the fauna, and with this, we are analyzing the effect of fires on these threatened species.
Nice.
In the first picture, we can see the peccaries, and here we can see the giant otters.
Mhm. So cool. Huge animals.
Yeah,
Tape. That is important to remember that this is a mammal there weighing up to 500 pounds. I mean, it's pretty large, right? So the largest land mammal in South America. So compared to Africa, just so you can have an idea, it's almost the size of a zebra. So the next one you're going to show is just amazing. I have never seen in the wild. It's quite rare, quite huge and amazing. So please tell us also.
yes, the tapirs are fantastic. And we have an important population of tapirs in Amolar. It was even one of the species most affected by fires in Amolar Mountains last year when we rescued one tapir and found three others dead in the region due to the fire. And we monitoring the giant armadillos. You can see in the photos. Uh, the giant armadillos are really impressive. A species that can weigh up to 15 kilograms, 50 kilograms, and literally look like a dinosaur. We recorded the giant armadillos in all of the areas we monitor in the Serra do Molar.
Yeah, just to give an idea, it's about 120 pounds, right? So it's
Yes,
a
yes.
big guy. And well, getting back to jaguars, I mean, for a few years you have been capturing and coloring and monitoring jaguars. So, and even helping wounded jaguars getting back to the wild after the fires that we all heard about. So tell us about that, please.
Yes, Elder. Last year, more than 85% of the Serra do Molar was consumed by fires. And in January of this year, we started to monitor the jaguars called Jojo, which was rescued in the Serra do Molar during the fires in the last year. Jojo was treated at the Wild Animal Rehabilitation Center in Campo Grande and was released into the Amolar with the GPS collar in January, and since then we have monitored the animal's readaptation at the Serra do Molar. Next week we will start to work to monitor two more jaguars in the region so that we can have more important informations about the jaguar population in the Serra do Molar. Not only ecological informations, but also genetic and sanitary information. This work involved the efforts of many partners, not only the Instituto Homem Pantaneiro,
Mhm.
partners such ICMBio, On Safari, Reprocon, Jaguar Camp, and others.
So nice. The next slide is about that rewild kind of a jaguar.
Yes, we can do it.
Passing to the
Uh,
other slide just to show the jaguar,
oh,
right?
sorry. I forgot that. This is Jojo, the monitored jaguars, and this image when the Jojo is released uh, in Serra do Amolar. And this photo, we can see uh, the monitoring of the Jojo signal, and we trying to see the Jojo in the Serra do Amolar.
The color
This
there, you're using a VHF and a GPS signal, right?
Exactly, exactly. With that two types of monitoring, the VHF can possibility we to see the jaguars, and the GPS give us a lot of informations, and with these datas of the GPS we can analyze the patterns of the movement the Jojo on Serra da Molar.
So cool. And that picture there, it's beautiful because actually shows a lot of water there. And so you can see the jaguars a lot of times in the water, but also in the mountains. So in that destination is amazing. It's the only place actually you can see the wetlands of the Pantanal and mountains around. So, and of course jaguars, right?
Exactly. But it's good to speak. The jaguars are not habituated in Serra da Molar, how we have in the other regions in Pantanal.
Yeah, another work to do there, right? So start
Yes.
to habituate jaguars there. And how about people? How about local community? How do they see your work? How are they involved? Tell us.
Yes, we think it's obligatory. We need speak with the population. We need speak with kids who lives in communities. We developed an activity called a Molar Experience, where people all of the world can follow our work in Serra do Molar and literally live a once in a lifetime experience. During the activities, peoples can walk through the mountains, navigate through the extremely wild regions, observe the fauna, how we can see in the image. The people can visit the archaeological sites and observe cave inscriptions, swimming in crystal clear waters in the Paraguay Mirim region, like you can see in this image. Uh, Talk to the communities about the conservation and the place. Finally, the people can literally live the experience of conservation, the Serra do Amolar.
So nice. Yeah, it's a really, really wild area. I mean, the experience to have there, it's wonderful because the landscape and the water, crystal water to swim. So I have the privilege to be there swimming and also seeing some wildlife there. So in terms of tourism, is just outstanding. I mean, you're living in a place that a lot of people wish to live at. So, but you can continue.
We can speak about the community. With each passing year, we involve the communities more and more in conservation in our conservation actions. They help us during the installation of cameras. They helping us during monitoring. We install the light repellents in some houses to prevent jaguars attacks and animals domestics such as dogs, chickens, sheep, and cows. The most important thing, in our opinion, Instituto Homem Pantaneiro opinion, is to respond to the cause of the communities and exchange experience with them.
Mhm. No, it's important to tell people that this is really remote area. I mean,
Yes.
imagine a few communities and small communities living at the edge of the river, which is the most famous river in the Pantanal, right? The Paraguay River,
Yeah.
and pretty wild, almost no structure. And the institution that you were working at, bringing a lot of sustainability, right, to the community. I mean, bringing solar energy as well, really great, and bringing education. So a lot of support as bringing schools to the area, right? It's a beautiful school. Maybe we can make another webinar just about the social work.
Yeah.
It's getting around there. So I mean, it's really amazing conservation work, but also involving people, right? A lot of wildlife, and again, as you can see in the picture there, outstanding place to visit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, but more and more we involve the people on our work. So we involve the peoples of the community, we involve the tourists, we involve the stakeholders in the cities to make a difference in the conservation actions.
So cool. And you cannot do this by yourself, right? You have a lot of partners, a lot of people working together, right, with you.
Exactly, Elder. Since the beginning of our work, our efforts from Conservation Jaguars, we have the partners like Rafael Hugenstein from uh, Pantera Foundation, like Peter Kraushaw, who we received in 2017 in Nacurizal, and he helped us with methodologies and analyze our data from camera traps. And in 2017 we received all the team, a part of team, but one the scientific part of team, the Pantera, like Alan Rabinovich, Howard Kigley, Alison Dowling, and we learn with them and exchange our experience working in Amolar. We have a lot of partners, and we need partners to do our job. Here we can see one part, not all the our partners, but we have partnerships, sponsor, and institutional supports. And we need to give thanks for the support to maintain our conservation efforts on Serra do Amolar.
And especially in the situations of the last 2 years, right? The fires were really impressive, and which, in the other hand, brought a lot of people together, right? So it created one unique thing in the Pantanal, if I could say that, because a lot of people got together and really helped, donating also, but also doing a lot of work, rescuing animals, bringing food. I mean, the work that your institution have done and helping and getting helped as well. I mean, it was amazing, and it's really important to say that. Something that I really admired, because to take care of a really beautiful area like that in a really remote, not everybody wants to live there in a really wild area. So I mean, it's really beautiful to see all the conservation efforts, and actually thank all people that really helped and donate to the work.
Exactly. So we can uh, we can so I would like to thank you once again for the opportunity to speak about our efforts, uh, and whoever wants to help our efforts towards the conservation of jaguars and Serra do Molar can access the website of Instituto Homem Pantaneiro, or access this QR code in the image and can help us to maintain this expensive work uh, to conservation in Serra do Molar.
Thank you again, Diego, for your presentation. Thank you for your work. I hope we're going to do another webinar about the Amolar mountain range.
Yes, we have a lot of themes to speak about jaguars and the Amolar and our efforts and strategies.
A lot of topics, right?
Yes, topics.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you both. That was fascinating. Before we start the Q&A, I want to remind everyone that they can submit their questions via the questions field in the control panel. But we do have some great questions already, so let's go ahead and get started with those. Let's see. Let's start with the difference between a spotted jaguar and a leopard.
Yes, have the different spot in leopards and jaguars. To simplify my answer, the leopards have spots into this don't have spots into the spots. I don't know how I said it. If you can help
I can
me.
help if you want. We would say rosettes, right?
Yes,
Jaguars have rosettes and spots inside.
inside the
Leopards,
rosettes don't have.
leopards don't have spots inside the rosettes. The rosettes of a leopard are small and the size, of course, the size of those two animals are quite different.
Yes,
A jaguar would be almost 250 pounds, even more sometimes. And so yeah, those different patterns are quite far apart.
but it's very common. The people uh, don't know how the difference.
Yeah.
And even though I've heard it before, I still get confused. um, how long do the monitoring collars stay on?
The jaguars, how like Jojo, is monitored for 1 year, and after that the collar is released and the animal is free to live without the collar.
Got it.
Yeah, the collar has a drop-off system, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
after 1 year, the drop-off system opens, and then the color is gone. So the animal doesn't need to spend its whole life with the color.
Excellent. Okay. How bad is the poaching situation? Has it gotten better, worse?
We have the situations with poaching. In the last year, we registered 2 animals died near from Namolar, and this year we registered 1 jaguars killed by poachers in Serra do Molar, because the conflict with the peoples who lives around the Serra do Molar, it's a great difficult for us for continues our job. But we always speaking with the communities and speaking about the strategies to mitigate this problem. But we have this problem in Amolar and other regions of Pantano.
Mm-hmm. Well, along those lines, what are the prey species for jaguars and pumas? Are there any?
We have a lot of species who are prey, the jaguars, and the poachers don't affect these species in Serra do Molar.
Okay.
But
Okay.
which kind of species you're asking, right? Which kind of species are the jaguar prey, right?
Right.
So it would be capybaras, peccary, even
Peccary.
monkey. Jaguars get almost everything they can get. I mean, armadillos. Even there was some report of jaguar killing other jaguar, and even
Yeah.
eating. Not in Molar, but in other areas of the Pantanal. But
Mhm.
definitely top predator. So he would eat anything smaller than him.
Got
Yes,
it.
but
Got it.
the most common species are brave from jaguars in Serra do Molar is capybaras and caimans.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I misinterpreted that question the way I read it. So thank you for clearing that up. Someone also said that the tails of jaguars are shorter than the tails of leopard. Is that true?
Yes, yes. The tail from leopards is more bigger than the tails of jaguar.
Yeah,
Excellent.
leopards have great skills. Jaguars climb quite well, but leopards seems have more skills climbing trees, right? So those long tails of a leopard gives them more skills than jaguars on a tree.
Huh.
Yeah.
And they use the tails a lot for that?
The balance, right? The tail
Uh-huh.
is used for balance.
Neat. Okay. Well, that's all the questions we have today. I'm going to turn it back to you for any closing comments.
All right, thank you very much again, Sunny. Thank you again, Diego, for your work and this beautiful conservation effort. And thank you very much for Instituto Homem Pantaneiro, right? The Pantanal Man Institute, for doing this amazing job. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Diego. If you want to say something.
Okay, I need give thanks for you and Natural Habitats and all the viewers of these webinars. Thanks.
Thank you both again. This was really interesting and lots of comments popping up now in gratitude for your efforts. So thank you. I also want to thank everyone who tuned in. Please join us tomorrow for our next Daily Dose of Nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I will conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.